Just reaffirm that we have a quorum and there's no public comment. We don't need to start the meeting.
Right, agreed. So we read into the record, we do have a quorum for the board meeting. We have 2 members online, and we do have a quorum, and no public comment received. So very briefly, let me repeat or summarize item 3 for the benefit of the public, since we had some technical issues. Very generally, item 3, the intent of item 3 is to move this project from design to construction phase. Okay, thank you. Lots of issues today. All right, we're going to get there. The intent of item 3 is to move from design to construction. Items A through E are the various agreements that we need in order to make that transition. 3A is the interlocal amendment with the county to provide a portion of the construction funding, approximately $2.7 million. Item 3B provides El Paso Water's contribution of a little over $8.6 million. Item 3C is the construction agreement with International Eagle, who was the low bidder. As we discussed earlier, the low bidder came in just about $54,000 lower than the second low bidder, 0.23% difference between those two. So very close bids on this particular project. Item 3D then is an amendment to the agreement with the engineering firm that provided design services for this particular project, so that they can provide design services during construction should any issues arise. And lastly, we have an amendment with our general engineering consultant team, which is Atkins, to provide various construction phase services, including construction engineering, inspection, testing, and overall management of the project. So with all that being said, I would recommend approval, subject to your questions, of course, of all items 3A through 3E.
Are there any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion passes. Agenda item number 4, discussion and action on a board resolution authorizing the execution of an interlocal agreement with El Paso County for the placement and operation of Sun Cycle Bike Share Station at Ascarity Park.
So this item, for the benefit of the public too, I don't think I reintroduced myself. Ray Mateus, Executive Director of the Camino Real Regional Mobility Authority. We're really excited about this particular item. This is item 4. In essence, we are entering into an interlocal agreement with the County of El Paso, whereby they will permit us to place a Sun Cycle station at the entrance of the Ascarity Park. And that's important because, if you look at the screens, Robert's showing you where we're going to place this particular station. So we're going to place it right there, right at the entrance of the park. But what's really important about this placement is there to the left, that's the entrance to the Paso del Norte Trail. So we're hopeful that our users will begin using this as a trail system as well. So we're really excited about this. Not only is that great news that they allowed us to place a station, they have also agreed to a sponsorship program with us. So we've got a 5-year sponsorship program with 2 5-year options as well, so up to 15 years, and they've agreed to $6,000 per year. And in exchange, we will provide branding on the bikes that will be located at this station, along with the kiosk and certain social media outreach activities as well. So really excited about this partnership with the county parks in this case. Really excited about this new station. We've been talking for quite some time about locating at the trails, and this is our first venture in that arena. So very excited about this item, recommend approval, but happy to answer any questions you may have.
How many bikes will there be?
On this one, we've got a station of 7.
7?
7 as the beginning. Yes, sir.
How many other stations are there along the trail?
Right now, we don't have any. So this is the very first venture. We are working with International Boundary and Water Commission to place stations up in the upper valley along the trail from Country Club Road heading out to Anthony. So we're working with them now.
Any other comments or questions?
How far is the parking at Ascarity from that trailhead?
This one is right across the street. So that where everyone parks at the the tax office, everyone parks there to go along the trail, and it'll be the same area for our users as well. And Robert's going to show you that here in a second. So that's where the station will be. And if you look across the street, that's the parking.
Any other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I so move.
Second? Or-
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Ms. Stevens?
Okay, agenda item number 5, discussion and action on board resolution authorizing the execution of the following instruments as they relate to El Paso County Transit Facility Project. A, interlocal agreement with El Paso County, and B, work authorization number 58 with Atkins North America, Inc.
This is also an exciting project for us, and we do have representatives from the county here, should you have any questions about the project or the transit system. As you know, El Paso County Transit System is operated by El Paso County. They are looking for a location to place a new transit facility, an operation center in essence. So what you see before you under item 5A is an interlocal agreement where they're providing us funding and we're agreeing to provide those acquisition services. So we will identify a location, we will pursue, with their coordination and direction, we will pursue the acquisition process pursuant to federal processes as well. So that's item 5A. Item 5B, we will utilize Atkins as we do for right-of-way, as we have been for right-of-way acquisitions for Horizon, Vinton, and the county as well. So we will continue that partnership under item 5B. It's a new work authorization with Atkins to provide those right-of-way acquisition services. So happy to answer any questions. Again, there is a representative from the county should you have any questions. Otherwise, I would recommend approval of these items.
Any questions or comments? Okay, entertain a motion to approve.
I so move.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Aye.
carries. Okay, agenda item number 6, discussion and action on board resolutions authorizing the execution of the following instruments as they relate to the El Paso County Roadway Safety Program. 1, interlocal agreement with El Paso County. B, work authorization number 1 with DEC El Paso LLC. And C, work authorization number 59 with Atkins North America. Mayor?
I would note for the record, I heard from Ms. Wilson she had to leave, so she's no longer participating. Still have a quorum though, so we're good to continue. This item relates to another new county project. This one, the county has partnered with their with the sheriff's department to identify roadway safety projects throughout the county. And so what we're really looking at are intersections that perhaps need new lights or need lights at all, need stop signs, stop sign warrant studies, new pavement markings, any areas in the county where they are seeing wrecks and safety issues. So the intent of this project is to identify and develop safety improvements along the roadways within El Paso County. So a really important project. So we're happy to partner with the county. 6A provides the interlocal, provides the funding and the direction for us to do that. 6B engages one of our IDC firms, Dannenbaum, or DEC El Paso, which they used to be known as Dannenbaum. They'll be providing the engineering services. And then item 6C is Atkins to provide the oversight for those activities. Again, happy to answer any questions, but a very important project for us and looking forward to advancing this one. So I would recommend approval of items 6A, 6B, and 6C.
Okay, I have a question. Does the scope of this involve any actual actions like construction or just recommendations and plans?
This is just through design.
Design, okay. All right. Any other
Is that right?
questions?
Let's confirm that.
Good morning, Daniel Marquez, El Paso County.
Morning.
Just to add additional information, this is our initial stage. We already identified some locations for potential construction. So once the plans are developed, we are moving forward with construction right after. The funding has been reallocated for design and construction.
Okay,
And for this project, though, this interlocal, does it include construction funding?
Yes, we are going to, in the interlocal, the idea is just to transfer everything at once to the RMA.
I apologize, I'm mistaken, that's right, you're right, now I remember. And in fact, actually, that was a last-minute change, because
Yes.
yeah, okay, I apologize for that. Yes, this does include design and construction funds.
okay. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 7, discussion and action on board resolutions authorizing the execution of the following instruments as they relate to the Favens Airport Solar Feasibility Study. A, interlocal agreement with El Paso County, and B, work authorization number 60 with Atkins North America. Raymond?
Excuse me, this is also another exciting project, a new one for us. We've been asked by the county to develop a feasibility study for the viability of a solar system, solar energy system to be located at the Favens Airport. So similar to all the other projects that we do with them, we've got an interlocal with the county as item 7A that provides the funding and the authorization to develop this feasibility study. And then item 7B is bringing Atkins on and their expertise to complete the study for us. I would recommend approval.
Okay, any questions?
This will power the whole airport?
Well, so I think that's part of the study. I think it will extend beyond and provide, and I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it's some sort of an offset for additional county structures, facilities. So it's bigger than the airport, I believe.
How many acres is the airport? Do you know? Just curious for that project.
Good morning, Daniel Marquez. Currently, the county owns 309 acres on the airport. This study, just to clarify the question, the goal is the county wants to offset 10 megawatts of energy on the main accounts that we have with El Paso Electric. So one moment is to potentially serve, I will say, the county courthouse, many of the Favens warehouses, and addition some schools, pretty much just to be 100% out of the grid. Of course, all the renewable energy will be coming from the Favens airport, if approved.
Will this come with, with the standard agreement that if you get excess generation, it'll sell it back to El Paso Electric?
Yes,
Yeah.
so this project is 100% in coordination with El Paso Electric. So there are going to be, it's going to be a partnership between multiple agencies where El Paso County will be providing the infrastructure costs, as well the land for those solar panels, and El Paso Electric will be beneficiated because it's additional energy that they don't have to do any additional improvements within their system, but it's just something that within the county. And of course, there will be additional interlocal agreements with them for the maintenance.
I would mention, though, for the record, because it's an important point, this is a feasibility study, so it won't result in any agreements, it won't result in any infrastructure. It's just the viability question
Right.
and what it would look like.
But we're not prohibited from doing that, right? Or are we?
Uh,
Or is that to be determined?
To be determined. So I think the result of the feasibility study will guide what the next step will be, and then we'll evaluate whether we can participate.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Entertain a motion to approve?
I so move.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Agenda item number 8, discussion and action on board resolution authorizing the execution of the following instruments as they relate to the Mission Valley Paso del Norte Trail Project. A, interlocal agreement with El Paso County, and B, work authorization number 61 with Atkins North America.
Okay, this is another important project for us. This helps to further the Paso Norte Trail. The County of El Paso is developing a grant application that will be submitted later this month. And so the intent of this particular agenda, these two particular agenda items are for us to authorize through specifically item 8B, Atkins as our general engineering consultant team to develop certain technical documents that the county can then roll into their application and submit. Item 8A, we weren't exactly sure how to do that, so I will ask the board to delete item 8A. Originally, I thought it was going to be an interlocal agreement. However, the county has approved this relationship with us in a different manner, so I don't think we're going to require an interlocal agreement on this one. So I will ask for item 8A to be deleted and item 8B to be approved. And again, 8B brings on Atkins to provide the technical support that the county needs to submit this application. I don't think I even mentioned this part. The most important part, this is a portion of the PDN trail that stretches from Socorro down to San Elizario. So very important connection. We're really excited to do it. Ms. Stevens and I were at a Paso Norte Trail Coalition meeting yesterday, and they seem very excited about this segment if we are successful in the grant application. So very excited about this one. I would recommend deletion of item 8A and approval of item 8B.
Where does the funding come if there's not the interlocal agreement? You said it's through something else?
So if it's not, the funding and the authorization has been approved by Commissioner's Court for the staff. So it's only a matter of us as I understand it, it's going to be a matter of us submitting an invoice since the authority has already been granted by Commissioner's Court.
Okay, any other questions? I entertain a motion to approve item 8B, work authorization number 61 with Atkins North America, Inc.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 9, discussion and action on board resolution authorizing the execution of amendments to the following instruments as they relate to the Ascension Street Improvements Project. A, interlocal agreement with El Paso County, and B, work authorization number 4 with CEA Engineering Group, Inc.
Okay, this project is a little bit unique. You may recall the RMA assisted in the design of this particular project for the county. And now this project is moving into construction. However, TxDOT will be handling the construction of this particular project. So what the county has asked of us is to provide certain construction phase services, including, since we brought on the engineer firm, which under item 9B you'll see was CEA, they provided the design services. So we're bringing that back on through this amendment to provide design services during construction activities. So that's item 9B. Item 9A, of course, is the amendment to the interlocal agreement, which provides the funding from the county for us to do that. Now, I missed an item for this one, and I apologize for that. I should have an amendment to the Atkins work authorization as well to provide continuing oversight of those activities. So I missed that, so I will bring that back to you all in November. Having said that, I would I would recommend approval of items 9A and 9B.
Okay, any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 10 is presentation discussion on a change order recently approved by the Executive Director for the El Paso County Shelters and Sidewalks Program.
Okay, we've got a PowerPoint for this one. We're going to go through this one pretty quickly. As a reminder, the board has authorized the executive director to make certain, execute certain change orders as noted on the screen. We have one that was approved this last month, and it relates to the El Paso County Passenger Shelters and Sidewalk Program. Go ahead. So these are the prior change orders that have been approved. Now, I'll note that this is a unique project in that we built into this construction award the ability to do additional work beyond the passenger shelters and sidewalks. So the intention was for this construction contract to be very flexible, right? So when we had other needs outside of the passenger shelter and sidewalks program, we could bring in this contractor to do those activities. So that's why you see 3 columns there. Have been change orders that relate specifically to the shelters program. There's been 1 that relates to the streetcar project, and then there have been 3, including the one that was recently approved there in orange. There have been 3 to date that provided services to the Pelicano project. So the one that was approved in this last month is there, identified as number 7, where we provided certain improvements along Pelicano, including a silt fence and a flume for some areas that were being eroded. I've approved that change order in the amount of $17,600. So as noted, and that one, yeah, go ahead to the next one. Item 8, if you recall, was approved the prior month, and I brought that to you all and noted that we'd be back with number 7, so that's what we're doing here today. So all of those have been approved to date. There's no action required by the resolution. This is just an informational update for you all.
Okay, any discussion or questions? I have one, and that is the scope of the agreement with the shelters program. How does the streetcar squeeze into
Sure.
qualifying for that within that agreement?
The way that we structured that procurement noted that the primary activities would be the shelters program, but then allowed us to do other similar construction activities on other projects.
Okay.
And so you'll see that again, this project is coming to its end, so you'll see that style of procurement. We're looking at a couple of different projects, so we're not exactly sure which one to roll it into, but we'll do that again so that we always have a construction firm available to us should something small come up.
Okay, thank you. No action required, correct?
That's right.
So that's not affected by having it approved by city council? Because wasn't there discussion on city council that because of the low ridership, there wouldn't be any more expenditures on the streetcars?
No, so that relates to the city's expenditures. We still have grant funds. So a couple months back, we approved a separate project to fully expend the remaining grant funds. So that's still happening. But those are not related to the city's activity, because the city's activity was a restriction on the expenditure of city funds. But the grant fund still remains. There's still a couple $100,000 left of the grant, and those are being expended now by us.
So there's no consultation required
With,
I guess, with the city council if they don't want any more money spent on?
well, those aren't, it's not their funds. So we are consulting with the city staff. Sun Metro, we've been in partnership with them. They know exactly what we're doing. In fact, yes, for sure. Well, I don't know about the city council. I'm telling you, city staff has definitely been consulted. In fact, the list for what we're developing with those remaining funds came from the city staff. Yeah, I don't know if that rolled up to the city council, but the city staff definitely knows, the operational folks. Okay?
Okay, any other comments? Okay, moving on to the agenda item number 11, discussion and action on staff reports. A, update on CRRMA annual audit and financials. And B, status of the Pelicano Drive widening project. Raymond?
Good morning, Robert Studer, Director of Finance for the record. So normally on the October agenda, the Finance Committee would have already met and we'd have several reports to provide to the board. We were unable to meet. I was really busy with year end and getting ready for the annual audit. You may also recall at our August board meeting, we added Louis Meyer from the city as an additional investment officer. So any reports have to go through him. He also was dealing with year-end close as he's a member of the city's Office of the Comptroller. We also had to redesign our report because we've changed our investments. And so as I was updating it, I realized, oh, we're not gonna fit into our current template. And so that added some additional time. And so I asked Sissy if we could delay the meeting. So we'll meet either later this month or before the November meeting and then have the reports for you all in November.
Correct.
Okay, any comments, questions? Agenda item number B, 11B.
So that'll be mine. I'll provide a couple of comments for the benefit of the public on this project, and then I'll ask that we move into executive session for some additional briefing with our attorney. So on the, I normally talk about different components of the project. On the outreach side, we will have another update going out to the Commissioners Court today. I have been speaking with the Director of Public Works and also Commissioner Olguin to keep them apprised as to the latest. So that'll go out today. On the bankruptcy side, as a reminder from some of the prior meetings that we've had, back on September 12th, in response to a motion from the U.S. trustee, the bankruptcy judge converted the bankruptcies both for JAR and for the Paso Norte Materials companies. For both of them, they converted from a Chapter 11, which is the reorganization style, to Chapter 7, which is the liquidation style of bankruptcy. So that did happen back on September 12th. Since then, the judge has named a Chapter 7 trustee. So when you, and I'll speak in general terms, when you convert from a Chapter 11, normally the debtor remains in possession of their assets. In Chapter 7, those assets are transferred over to the Chapter 7 trustee. So the company's owner no longer controls those assets in a Chapter 7. So that's where we've gone to now in a Chapter 7. So the Chapter 7 trustee has been appointed, and that individual now has control of those assets. That Chapter 7 trustee is now familiarizing himself with the bankruptcies and the assets that are available, and has also requested and received approval from the bankruptcy judge to bring on an attorney to provide support for that trustee. So that has occurred as of last week. So the trustee is in place. The trustee now has its own attorney to provide guidance on the liquidation of these assets. So that is in process. I would mention one other note. There is a new bankruptcy judge. The prior bankruptcy judge that had been handling these filings has retired. Former El Pasoan, actually, Chris Mott. He has retired and has been replaced by Judge Bradley. So that has occurred. And then, so that's on the bankruptcy side. And then lastly, on the default, and this is the important one for us because this guides how and when the project can restart. We have held an initial meeting with the surety and their attorneys to begin discussions on how that will take place. The surety has asked to delay any follow-up meetings until they have had time to discuss the project with the Chapter 7 trustee, which is occurring, has or is about to occur. So we should be receiving a meeting request from the surety very soon. And so that's what I have for the public. I would ask, though, that we retire into executive session so we can discuss this in a little more detail with our attorney.
Okay. So now we're going to retire into executive session. The time is 10:45 on October 11th, 2023. CRRMA Board
So,
of-
Mr. Smith, 9:45.
Excuse me, 9:45.
Yes, sir.
And the CRRMA Board of Directors will now retire to executive session pursuant to Texas Government's Code Section 551.071 for the purpose of consultation with an attorney. We will reconvene the open meeting upon the conclusion of the executive session. Okay, it is now 10:11, and we have concluded executive session on October 11th, 2023, and the Board of Directors of the CRRMA is reconvening its open meeting after deliberations in executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551-071. The board consulted with its attorney but took no action in executive session. So we are now back in open session. And do we have any other business associated?
No, sir, that's it.
Meeting?
That's all I have for you today.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much, and you have a great day.
You did a
We've
fine
got
job.
10:12 for the record.
Thank you, Chairman.